Well, people, Howard Zinn and Noam Chomsky, those people aren't on TV because they have intellects and they're dissenters, and the limits of debate in this country are set before the debate begins. These people will not be included. The debate will take place between these two poles, and we'll have them on Ted Koppel, and it's an argument between sames. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just little variations. The people who are outside are quickly marginalized. They're made to be either subversive, made out to be, either subversive or kooks. This is the word.
Well, in other words,
he's a kook.
Yeah, and
you have to give him credit for one thing. You have to give him credit. They're out in the open now. They're out in the open now. They're not even trying to conceal it anymore. The owners of the country they got their election. They said, we're going to get this election. We put you people in that court for a reason.
All right,
now's
back
the time
to
pay
earth
us.
for you now.
Yeah, forget all that stupid. They're out in the open. They're openly driving the bus, and we're all in the back.
There is no national conspiracy to buy elections and control America. Now
talk about back to earth.
That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem that we have, is that people make these kind of irrational statements.
Unfortunately,
I don't challenge the facts that you present, that those backgrounds are there. What I challenge is the idea that there's some kind of conspiracy about
now
this.
I get to talk.
We don't have, what we haven't had, let me just make this quick point. What we haven't had, not as a result of a conspiracy, but because...
You don't need a formal conspiracy when interests converge. These people went to the same universities and fraternities. They're on the same boards of directors. They're in the same country clubs. They have like interests. They don't need to call a meeting. They know what's good for them, and they're getting it. And there used to be 7 oil companies. There are now 3. It will soon be 2. The things that matter in this country have been reduced in choice. There are 2 political parties. There are a handful of insurance companies. There are about 6 or 7 information things. But if you want a bagel, there are 23 flavors, because you have the illusion. You have the illusion of choice. You don't get the real important choice. There's no freedom of choice. Having the oil companies and the corporations and the boards of directors tell us what we can do.
You are not required to buy an SUV.
Business should run things.
You are not required to run your electricity. You're not required. There are a number of things that you have control over.
How can you run a home without electricity?
What's that?
How can you run your home without electricity?
I figured out when I got my bill back in February that was 3 times the size. I went to the master block and knocked off a number of those items because I didn't want to have to pay the electricity.
I don't like orthodoxy of the left any more than I like orthodoxy of the right. The right-wing Christians are trying to control your behavior. They're trying to control the behavior of other people. The left-wing academics are trying to control the language and behavior of people. I don't like anyone trying to control and dictate to me from an orthodox standpoint. So you'll always have censorship. You'll always have attempts at silencing or altering the way other people speak and think. That's the important thing. See, if you can change people's language, you can change the way they think, because you think in words. So that's the dangerous part. After they clean up the obscenities and the profanity, then the next thing they'll want to clean up is these dangerous political thoughts. These people who have these dangerous thoughts. It's just it's an attempt to control others, and, we have to be alert. That's all.
Tell the truth. Don't be bullshitting people. Like I say, there's enough bullshit as it is. There's enough bullshit as it is. In fact, there's just enough. Did you know that? There's just enough bullshit to hold things together in this country. Bullshit is the glue that binds us as a nation. Where would we be without our safe, familiar American bullshit? Land of the free, home of the brave, the American dream. All men are equal, justice is blind, the press is free, your vote counts. Business is honest, the good guys win, the police are on your side, God is watching you, your standard of living will never decline, and everything is going to be just fine. The official national bullshit story. I call it the American okey-doke. That's what they do with that kind of stuff. They put it in the heads of kids. They pound it in there because they know kids are too young to be able to mount a sophisticated argument against these kind of ideas. And so kids, and up to a certain age, by the way, kids are going to believe everything a grown-up tells them, everything. So kids never learn to question things. Nobody questions things in this country anymore. Nobody questions things. Why? People are too fat and happy. People are way too fucking prosperous for their own good. Everyone's got a cell phone that'll make pancakes and rub their balls now, So nobody wants to rock the boat. And people just gizmo. Americans have been silenced, bought off and silenced by gizmos and toys. And as a result, no one's ever learned to question things. No one questions things in this country anymore.
Every time you're exposed to advertising, you realize once again that America's leading industry, America's most profitable business, is still the manufacture, packaging, distribution, and marketing of bullshit. High quality, grade A, prime cut, pure American bullshit. And the sad part is that most people seem to have been indoctrinated to believe that bullshit only comes from certain places, certain sources. Advertising, politics, salesmen, not true. Bullshit is everywhere. Bullshit is rampant. Parents are full of shit, teachers are full of shit, clergymen are full of shit, and law enforcement people are full of shit. This entire country is completely full of shit, and always has been. From the Declaration of Independence to the Constitution to the Star-Spangled Banner, it's still nothing more than one big steaming pile of red, white, and blue all-American bullshit.
You know what? I say it this way. When you're born in this world, you're given a ticket to the freak show. And when you're born in America, you're given a front row seat. And some of us get to sit there with notebooks. And I'm a notebook. And oh my God, did you see that? Did you see what he just... And I watch the freak show, and I get my notes, and I make up stuff about it, and I talk about the freaks. And the freaks are all humans, and they're like me, and they're all the same. We're all the same. I'm not better. I'm not different. I'm just apart now. I'm separate. I'm over here because I put myself out of the mix. I don't have a stake in the outcome. I'm not a cheerleader for a given outcome now. Oh, they say if you scratch a cynic, you'll find a disappointed idealist. And I would admit that somewhere underneath all of this, there's a little flicker of a flame of idealism that would love to see it all whoosh, change. But it can't happen that way. And incremental change, it just seems like the pile of shit is too deep.